Assalamu guys, I hope you're all doing well. I know it's probably a really difficult time, or you might be really finding your feet finally in this third wave of a pandemic, but I thought I'd share some of my daily insights, and honestly at this point in time I'm literally just trying to get from one day to the next. That sentiment in mind, it actually reminded me of a story that a dear friend once told me about the king and his aide, and I thought I'd share it with you. There was a king who asked his aide for some advice. He wanted something that would ground him through the different experiences that he would go through. So the aide gave him this ring, right, with a prescription in it. Is it a prescription? It's a prescription inside of the ring, and in it said, "This time too shall pass." And so when the king was going through the heights of success in his kingdom, and the people in his kingdom were being taken care of, and he had lots of crops, and he was really financially stable, he would look at his ring and read, "This time too shall pass," and remember that although he was going through a lot of success, that there would come a time where he would be challenged. And when he would go through famine and the people in his kingdom were suffering, he would read his ring and remember that although he was really struggling, success was on its way, because with every hardship comes ease. And Allah promises that not once but twice when he repeats that, and with every hardship comes ease. And the difficulty of this situation, of a pandemic, of loss, is that sometimes you struggle to get through the day, through the pain, through the heartache, depending on what you're going through right now, or just like the mental blockage when you're trying to do your work or study. And so I would recommend just remembering this invisible ring that you may have on your finger, reminding you that although you may be struggling right now, tomorrow's a new day, and inshallah, with Allah's mercy, it'll bring about lots of different blessings. And if you're at the top of a mountain or really succeeding, and I'm not sure why you'd find yourself there, we're in the middle of a pandemic, but if you are on the top of a mountain, just remembering that sometimes you have to come to ground level, and often that experience and that journey is quite difficult, but successes and failures or losses come and go to remind us that this life is a test, and this life is temporary, and it's a way in which we are challenged, and a challenge that detaches us from being consumed by the world. And so I hope and pray that in this story that I really butchered and probably didn't narrate as well, you find some peace and you find some ease in knowing that Allah is there, and He will give you ease, and He will test you within your capacity. And although a lot of the time it may feel really, really overwhelming, you can get through this, because He will allow you, and He will give you the means through which you will get through this. And I say this just because that's what I'm trying to convince myself, and not even convince, I know. I think it just comes to a matter of having strong enough belief to actually actualize it in our lives. But yeah, I really hope that this story brings some sort of resonance or comfort or something, and if not, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. But anyways, I pray that you are all well. I pray Allah grants all of your hearts ease upon ease. I pray Allah grants all of you success upon success. And, we'll get through this one day at a time. And as another amazing friend of mine said, from one prayer to the next.